Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. So today there was a Board of County Commissioners meeting, and at the end of it, at the Perdido Incorporation effort was brought up, and we found out that the Perdido Incorporation effort has never approached the Board of County Commissioners about anything. The Board of County Commissioners has gotten a hold of the reports and read them, and they had specific questions for Brendtro. Brendtro got up and spoke about how the report says that there's no new taxes and that they'll be taking money from the county, but yet somehow they'll be giving the money back to the county because they pay for services. So they were very specific in not understanding it the way I have stated in some of my videos, how I don't understand it. So forgive me. It's definitely smoke and gun stuff because they're not prepared. This is not right. They've created something and they really haven't covered their rear ends, and it's not right. What they're saying is not true in terms of new taxes. And he says the report says it. I don't say it. The county wants to negotiate the MOUs and memorandums of understanding on what's going to be paid by the city, the new city or new town. And Steve Brendtro admittedly is saying the right thing. He's saying that, well, there's nobody, me, I can't negotiate for something that doesn't exist. I certainly am not an elected official, so I can't negotiate. So he's right about that. It's good to hear that. That's obvious. So, but the county wants things settled before it suddenly is created. And Steve Brendtro states that, listen, nobody can really speak for the city until it is created, and then there are elections. So, guys, this is, we're getting sold a bill of goods here, and there's just no telling how it turns out because of the way it has to turn out. So I'm going to play this now. Again, it's 30 minutes, so I'm going to break it up. I've already talked, I'm talking 2 minutes here, and I'll break it up into 10-minute videos. Hopefully we'll get through it. But it's great stuff, man. This is great theater. It's just, they're not ready. And, and Brendtro keeps saying, well, the numbers are going to change. And Brendtro, he starts double talking. It's, it's smoke and gun, guys. This doesn't need to happen. Thank you. Here we go. Have a great day.
Wes.
Car 3, the add-on is Perdido Municipal Incorporation.
Okay. All right, Board, how do you want to handle this discussion? We do have one speaker that signed up, Stephen Brendtro. That may not be correct, but
yeah,
close.
I'll just give a little backstory, and so anyway, I know that Representative Andrade is looking at possibly running the bill that would put this on the ballot. And in just some of my discussions with the county attorney, there are certain things that we need to work out before he can do that. I think there are things that you can put in that bill that lay out how it's going to function, what they're going to do, what we're going to do, and I would just say it was my understanding that over a month ago it had been relayed to them that we needed to have those discussions. And so Representative Andrade asked me to just put this on there today. I don't think it needs a vote to say that we will engage in those discussions with them between Allison and Wes. But I just wanted to put it out there that we would
Commissioner, and this is this is a Perdido issue, and with the previous commissioner nor the current commissioner, I'm not going to weigh in tremendously out there. I thought there were, kind of standard, a standard way that this would go. I guess there's a lot more ambiguity and a lot more negotiated, into it. But the way the other two municipalities work in the county, I believe that they pay their ad valorem taxes and then they handle their own affairs however they see fit.
That's right.
Something along that line would be just an absolute starting point for me. That I couldn't imagine treating. I don't have an issue with whatever they may want to do, and I remember some discussions with some dear friends of mine that were elected officials from Santa Rosa County when Navarre was talking about it. The baseline is the county's ad valorem rate is what it is, and whatever else however else you may want to govern yourselves is, is really up to you. But it's not going to be something that I would support personally, and I would hope our board would not support an arrangement that affected the ad valorem rates that the county has. Other than that, very open-minded, let them do, govern themselves however they may wish.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, and I agree with that 100%. I've stated it. That's my public position. Unfortunately, some of the constituents that I represent have reached out to me, and many of them are on the mistaken belief that if this study area, which is very, very large, by the way, it doesn't meet the statutory requirements, by the way. It's only 1.1 citizen per acre. It's supposed to be 1.5, so it already doesn't, in their own study says that. But there are folks of the mistaken belief that if that entire area is sliced off, that everything that we collect now, they're going to suddenly get it, and we're not going to get it. So that's certainly fiction. Like you said, Mr. Chairman, the 6.615 mills we will still get. My understanding is the new city has no interest in creating their own police force. So my understanding is the MSTU for the sheriff will still be on their tax bills. My understanding is they're not going to create their own fire service like Pensacola does. So I assume the MSBU is still going to be on their tax bills. They're not going to have their own schools, so they're still going to pay school board tax. And like you said, anything over and above that will require revenue being raised other ways. Now, things they can do and will do probably if they're successful is they'll add a 10% utility tax right off the bat. 20,000 citizens over there will get a 10% increase on their electric bill right off the bat. And they'll raise a lot of money that way. My understanding from speaking to Lynn Tipton at the League of Cities, who I've spoken with a number of times, is in order for them to tap into the big money, the state shared revenue, they have to raise the equivalent of 3 mills of their tax roll. Their tax roll is about $3.6 billion. So 3 mills of that is nearly 11 million. The only way they can get there, they have 3 ways. They can raise the utilities tax, which I just discussed. They can add mills to the tax bill, not taking anything from us, but adding over the top, or they can initiate new business tax and fees. They have to do all of that, raise the 10 million before they can tap in to their share of the half-cent sales tax or the other shared revenue. They can get franchise fees, but that has to be negotiated. And my understanding is if we have an existing franchise agreement with some providers, they have to wait till that expires before they can tap into that. And I know we have franchise fees. So there's a number of ways they can do it, but I want citizens to have all the facts. Again, if they incorporate, that makes our job a lot easier. Hey, Bower Road, Perdita Key Drive, go get them, Tiger, take it. You can have it. But what people have to ask is what problem is it solving? If it's safety, public safety, where you're not going to have your own fire station, your own police department. If it's roads, well, if they don't want the roads, how's that solving a problem? If they're not going to have their own fire service, not going to have their own schools, I believe they're going to be using our code and zoning. So you really have to ask yourself, do you want another layer of government over the top, which you will pay extra for? Or are there things the county's doing that we can maybe do better? Those are the questions you have to ask before you vote. But Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the opportunity to discuss that. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we're going to stop this video now, but that's pretty clear stuff from Commissioner Bergosh. It only gets worse from here. But the clarification I'll bring up is that they have to raise, the new city has to raise an equivalent of 3 mills. So it's not just a 3 mil tax increase. So they can use, if you will, a gumbo of taxes, different versions to raise the equivalent of 3 mills. That's a good clarification, I think, to make. So we're going to stop this video and we'll go to the next. Like I said, it doesn't get any better.